So, if what the sage has said is true, if Zant was the one that broke this mirror to pieces, would that mean that he got 7 years of bad luck? I mean, that's how the superstition goes, right? So it makes you wonder, how in the world did Zant rose to power in the first place if he was the one that broke this mirror? I mean, I think that would have constituted him to have like all kinds of bad things happen to him before he was able to get rid of Binda and seemingly take control of the Twilight Realm for himself. I don't know, this kind of makes you think, if from the superstitious kind. Greetings all, it's Blue Knight, and welcome back to the Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. Previously, we completed the Arbiter's grounds and took down the Star Lord. While investigating what this place really turned out to be, it turned out to be just like what we heard before, a prison that was made for like the worst criminals of Hyrule. And we also found out how Ganondorf factored into the story too. Today, we're gonna take care of some side stuff now that we heard about what our next goal is, and that is to collect the remaining pieces of the Mirror of Twilight. But first things first, we're gonna take care of a few things that are related to like side quest business before we do go into one of those 3 locations that the sages did mention. Also, what happened to one of the sages? I figured that the mailman was gonna stop us. I'll get back to my thought in just a moment. It's a letter from Barnes. Okay. He's probably gonna tell us about how he's got like the bombling now in stock, though I think we got that some time ago. I'm not sure. Where I have in stock. Wait till you see what these favors can do. I guess I'll stop at Conqueror to see what that is. So I'm pretty sure they get to cover that because I had to show grind all the rupees and do that again. Grind all the rupees, that is. I'm pretty sure that has to relate to the bobbling. Is what Barnes' letter must be addressing about. Anyways, getting back to my thought. One of the sages we saw got assaulted by Ganondorf during his big debuting cutscene of this game, I guess. Is that sage, it didn't like vanish into thin air to escape or anything. No, that sage is dead. It's actually confirmed that the sage did die because of what Ganondorf did to it. And wouldn't you know it? That happened to be the water sage. I like to think that the devs did that as some sort of catharsis for the player because of how scarring the water temple was to people back in Ocarina of Time. Granted, the Linkman Temple is not the most infuriating thing in the world. If you compare the two, I'd say the water temple would be way worse by popular belief. But still, I like to think that was some sort of dark humor that they did do when they showed one of the sages getting killed by Ganondorf. That had to be intentional. So we're back at Tomo's bar, so we can investigate this map. We can see that one of the 3 people here has indeed gone missing. We see that Aru has returned, but the girl is gone. Say, Link, you're alive and well. Tell me, did you find anything of interest at the Arbiter's grounds in the desert? Sages. Those sages once served the royal family, actually. They were appointed as tutors to young Zelda. Like I stated before, in the Japanese version, Aru was also mentioned to be a tutor of Zelda as well. I think they actually got that switched around when they were localized in this game. It was from there that I first heard of the Accursed Mirror in the Arbiter's grounds. And that's why he went to go investigate the desert, so now we know what the source of his motivations were. And here's Russell, and I believe this is Shad. We'll talk about those sky beaks again. So whenever we're back here, don't know where to go, we'll just investigate the map, and it'll point us the way to our next major destination. Ashay mentioned Snow Peak Mountain and headed off. And that is to be located somewhere near the Lanayru province. Actually, know where that is. That's specifically in Zora's domain. So that's gonna be our next main story point to go check out. But we'll do that for a while. Let's see if we head over to the south entrance. I'd like to show this in full. I did deliver a bottle of spring water to this girl on here at the south entrance some time back. And he was able to clear out the roadblock that was blocking this entrance of Castletown to Hyrule Field. You can actually just exit and re-enter this screen almost immediately after you give him the spring water he needed to bust down this blockade. I just thought it would take a while before you could speak to him again until he clears that blockade out. I'm pretty sure I did speak to him before, so I don't have the dialogue listed here, but just to show you the proof, this does connect back to Hyrule Field. Here it is! Back into the north of the Faron region. Before we leave, I just want to show that off for a moment. We don't have any particular business in the Faron region yet, as far as I know. We're gonna go back to this entrance of Castletown because I see off in the distance there is a claw shot target that we can interact with now that we have the claw shot. We could have done this before actually, but it just wasn't in my notes at the time. I want to leave this up till a little later on. Not close enough to it yet. Trust me, now that we have the spinner, there are a couple spots we can hit in the overworld that we can access now thanks to having the spinner in our inventory. Come on, Link. Link, just get on the ledge, please, thank you. I don't know why he was just shimmying from left to right like that. I swear I was going up on the stick, but it just wasn't responding for whatever reason. Gonna go across these tight ropes. And now, just shimmy across here. This is the part where you can shimmy, like, not what you were doing before. This spot's appropriate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll have to use that tightrope next, But that might lead us to somewhere else that we have to use another piece of our inventory for. Nope, never mind. It just leads us to a chest outright. We'll see what this contains first. And our reward is 100 rupees. Am I? Nope, still got room in my wall for it. Nice. But I wonder if we could access that chest now. Not too certain about that. Because I have a feeling like that by now we should be able to have some way to get to it. Or no, wait. Was I supposed to... I'm gonna try something. It may not work. And it's not the intended way for you to get to that chest. Oh, come on. How about not close enough, game? I'm directly below it. Come on. Really, Link? There you go. Wait, why aren't you... Oh, it's not going onto the ledge itself. Come on. Unless that was intentional, actually. Just doing that. Oh, now you're letting onto the ledge. Sure. Now you're gonna do it. Alright, just go over here. Drop down. Oh, I can't stand on that for long. Crud. Maybe we can't get to this yet. I swear you can. We should be able to by now, but I just don't remember how. We're gonna try this again. maybe this is supposed to be a spinner track. Yeah, it is! You really wouldn't think it before, but it is a spinner track we could use. So now we gotta time it right. Yeah, first shot. I didn't think this would actually be a spinner spot we could use. I thought that would come up a little later on. But a reward here is the surprise Zelda stamp, which used to be an orange rupee. And she certainly looks surprised in that picture for sure. It's so stupid that you just can't have Link just hop up and climb onto this ledge and then pull himself up. Nope, apparently it's too tall for him to do that. Maybe he's just not tall enough himself to do that. I can kind of relate because I'm not that tall either. I'm like average height. Which, compared to like most people I've met over my life, is still pretty dang small. North of the bridge of Hylia, we have another spinner spot that we can hit right here. Because there's been these tracks that we can, that we've seen here before whenever we pass by this area as Link riding a Epona, but we could do nothing about before. Well, now with the spinner, we're able to hit this spot and see what we can find. More specifically, to get over to this track over here. Oh, nope, wrong way. Stop it. Good thing we can disembark to quickly stop the spinner from going a little too far, a little too out of control. Nope, timed that a little too early. Let's go back and try that again. I'm not sure you have to ride this or jump off at some point. I feel like we have to jump off this track at some point in this ride. Going and jump. Oh, that's going the wrong. Why not go the opposite way? Was that because I was tilting down for like a split second? That shouldn't really count. Nope, okay, that was the reason why. I gotta stop doing that. I don't know why I just do that out of instinct. I'll just leave it alone. There we go. And now we jump over there. And jump. Jump again. Let's keep on doing this. Oh, come on! Man! How appropriate that the day theme for the Hyrule Field location has now like starting to fade out, because that's exactly how I feel. Just ending on a whimper like that. There we go. And that's how we're supposed to do it. There was a chest over here the whole time that we couldn't get until now that contains another piece of heart. And now, actually I think that was all the side stuff we could do, because the next location we want to go to is gonna be the Sacred Grove, which is one of the locations that the sages informed us about. Huh. I honestly thought we were supposed to be here by now. Guess not. I didn't think we were closed off to this area till later on. The sages did mention we had to travel to the Sacred Grove again to find one of the missing mirror Twilight pieces, but I guess that didn't open up because it just hasn't been called on by the map yet? That's what I'm thinking. I swore this was like open up to you always. I guess we'll have to head to our next location. That's something to note about. Well, anyways, our next location is gonna be at the Bridge of Eldin, which we can finally warp to. At least we got that going for us, because we couldn't do that for the longest time, and I just warped to Death Mountain by accident. Crap! Oh, it feels so good that we can finally warp over here. Because if you tried to do that before, then we would have fallen off into the bottomless pit below, which would not have been very good for us. So that's why you could have used that warp point if you wanted to for the longest time, but it was not really advise that you would do so unless you fix the bridge. Now to the side of us somewhere, or maybe it's a little bit up north. I think it's a little bit up north. We gotta head over to a bridge that goes over another black abyss. You have to cross over here in order to get to the Lanayru province when we were cleansing this land of the Twilight. Yeah, right here. So among all these bokoblins, not bokoblins, boblins. Yeah, that took me a lot longer than I thought to make that mistake. Even though they're clearly different in design. I don't know why I had to have to call these guys bokoblins for a while. Maybe it's because they're just like that. They're that low on the totem pole when it comes to enemies that I just assumed they were bokoblins outright. Maybe that's why. Anyways, we could go over to this spinner track. And of course use it to get to that circle of grass formation that we're also familiar with by now. Because we could dig into the center of it to find... Oh, Stalfos! Okay, you know what? I actually want to go ahead and hand with these guys. I could cheap them out, but I don't feel that naughty yet. Probably should have equipped my boss beforehand too. Yeah, they didn't survive, didn't matter. And we'll do the same thing for this guy. And we got a couple of chests here. But I'm pretty sure by killing all these Stalfos. Yep, we spawned another chest. I have a feeling that these chests are probably going to contain rupees, and the big one's going to be an even bigger reward. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something I actually want to go for. So we got some other bombs, speaking of which. Help us refill our... Oh, 2 packs of bombs of 5. Okay, I didn't expect that. Thought those would be rupees. But maybe that's what the pots around here are for. And that's what I was looking for. Another piece of heart. And wouldn't you know it, this one filled up built a new heart container. Which means we're now at 13 hearts in total. Awesome. And just think, last episode we just increased to 12 hearts. Well, we can now increase that total by 2 if you know where to look and know where to pick up the heart pieces. So that's a very major plus for us. So now we're at Zora's Domain, and you think this is where our side questing stuff will continue? Not really. We actually completed all we can do in terms of getting some other collectibles. But that comes with a bit of bad news, because the last clip where I used the spinner in, unfortunately that's the last useful thing the spinner can help you get. Yeah, for all I've praised about this really handy item and very entertaining item to boot, the major drawback about the spinner itself is that it doesn't get used for much. So shortly after you acquire it, it becomes virtually pointless and virtually useless, which is very sad. You'd think with a unique item like that, they would have a few more puzzles that you would need to use the spinner for in order to, like, get some other collectibles, or do something else that can buy you something else that's very handy, or just something. Anything that would make the spinner have more usage, but no. For some reason, it doesn't get that much material to work with. It's so terrible. That's because I guess that they had run out of time or something when they were crafting the spinner. I'm not sure. That's the only thing I had to guess about why it doesn't get that much use. Overall, the spinner just ends up being a criminally underused item, But not all is lost about it, because in Hyrule Warriors, the dev team had the idea to bring that back as one of Link's many items that you can use as a weapon in that game. And spoiler alert, it's pretty fun to use in that game too. So, if you ever thought that Sprinter would be capable as a combat-related item, guess what? Someone else thought about that as well, and the world is much better because of it. Maybe I'm blown out of proportion, but I just really like the Spinner. And the fact it doesn't get much use in this game, the game where its origins take place, is pretty dang sad. But at least someone else thought the same thing and decided to correct that mistake. So all our side stuff already taken care of, I said I was gonna take one episode, and turns out I was right, which I'm really thankful for that as well. Next time, we're gonna venture into the cave behind us, and make our way to Snow Peak Mountain, the very region where Ashe happens to be residing at. Until we meet again, farewell for now.